Next, we have TV mobile integration, how to successfully integrate mobile with TV. And to talk to us today about that is Sheila Paul. She's the Vice President and Head of New Media, ABC Development Corporation, TV5. Sheila Paul oversees the new media division of the country's fastest growing network, which includes digital marketing, product development, and operations of TV5's online and mobile properties. She brings over 14 years of marketing, product development, and strategic planning experience gained in Europe and Asia in the fields of telecommunications, internet, digital entertainment, and advertising. Prior to TV5, Sheila served as Head of Market and Customer Insights Asia and Business Development Manager for Telenor. It's the sixth largest mobile company in the world with operations in 13 markets. Based out of Malaysia and Norway, she helped deliver mobile internet products and services for emerging markets, such as a mobile music service for DG Malaysia and new mobile internet pricing models for Grameenphone, is that correct? Yes, in Bangladesh. Sheila also served as Chief Operating Officer for Level Up and Ragnarok. Who remembers Ragnarok? Yes, played it, done it, very nice, okay? And it was one of the biggest online video games, well, still is, in the country. She started her career as an advertising executive in Saatchi & Saatchi, and she was helping manage award-winning campaigns for clients. She's a business management graduate of the Ateneo. Do we have any Ateneo fans here? Ateneo goers here? Tulog na kayo, mag-coffee kayo, pwede? Yes? Okay, round of applause for Ms. Sheila Paul.
Hello? Okay. Can everyone hear me? Are you guys still awake? Okay, good. No. Anyway, I'm here and I'm supposed to talk about TV and mobile integration and how to successfully do it. Actually, this is kind of a new thing for us, and we think we have an idea of how to go about it. And I'd like to share that with you, but it still remains to be seen whether this is going to be a success. But we're trying to look at some worldwide trends, trying to apply some local learnings to what we're doing with TV5 New Media. So hopefully it will be a success moving on. Let me show you one of our... Who doesn't know this guy?
Walang to, Gary Boy! Okay. Thank you so much. Importante, masaya kayo. Masaya ba ang lahat? Yun ang importante, masaya kayo. At siyempre, bago lahat, eto na po. Eto, ha? Tatawag muna tayo. Let's call. Eto na, in the presence of DTI, represented para po sa ating text promo. Of course, Mrs. Crisostomo Sikat. Ayan. Diyan na? Bakit dinalagay kasi kung Mr. o Mrs. Lagay nyo kasi para alam ko, di ba? Mr. gusto ko, okay? Alright, Mr. Crisostomo, okay? Salamat po, ha? Light na light, tatawag kasi tayo ngayon. Lagay nyo na Mr. o Mrs., nanay o tatay. Alright? Ito na po, ang ating tutok tuwin. Tawag na! Papo, let's call! Go! Stop! Chance naman ng ating mga televiewers. Here we go. Tawagin na natin yan. Ang kanyang greetings ay happy second anniversary sa Will Time Big Time. The numbers show on TV5 number 1 sa aming mga puso. Sa aming puso. Go! Dahil natin, 20,000 to. Lahat po ng mga text, more than 3 million na po ang mga texters natin. Thank you so much sa inyo. Maraming pong salamat. Pakidaya lang, please. Ayaw yata.
The number you are calling is currently not available.
Sayang
Please try your call later.
Ano kayang
Sabay,
network
isa pa,
yun?
baka naman andun lang, isa pa. Chance niya yan, sayang yan. 20,000, meron siyang, bigyan din natin ng jacket, Cherry Mobile. Bigyan din natin sila. Sa pangdayang, okay? Sabi ko sa inyo ano lang yan?
Hello?
Magandang gabi po! Hello?
Kuya Rin?
Oh. Sino pangalan nyo?
Gilbert Patam.
Mang Gilbert, tiga saan ka?
Tiga Cabalero po.
Ha?
Tiga Cabalero, Jail 3 Cavite.
Tiga General Trias, Cavite.
Opo.
Gilbert, ano ba ang apelyido mo?
Patam.
William Patam, Gilbert?
Opo.
Ano ginagawa mo ngayon?
Nanood po ng palas nyo.
Alam mo
Jail
ba-
3 Big Time.
Talaga?
Opo.
Napakaswerte mo, meron kang 20,000! Meron ka bang Cherry Mobile? Meron ka bang jacket? Meron ka bang CD? Ano gusto mo sabihin?
Salamat po sa Jail 3 Big Time. Sa mga po ng Channel 5.
Masaya ka?
Opo!
Congratulations.
Magandang Pasko po to!
Okay. Maligayang Pasko sa'yo.
Okay, so I guess you guys get the picture of what happens. This was actually from Will Time Big Time's anniversary special. It was an 8-week promo wherein we asked people to text in their anniversary greeting to Kuya Will. And then you watch the show and then you wait for him to call you. It's actually a pretty easy promo to join. So instead of just doing this normal watch and win where you wait for a keyword or you look for a logo, you just greet Kuya Will and he gives away at least 20,000 every day. Every week he gives away a house and million pesos, and sometimes randomly he gives away phones and jackets, etc. So this is one of we love Kuya Will only because he gives us this in terms of mobile entries. We had 857,000 unique users for this promo with 10 million SMS entries. It's about 12 texts per user, and this doesn't even include those guys who texted in without any load, so they didn't get billed. But when we look at this particular promotion, I would still call it traditional integration. Actually, I'm sure you've seen this done over and over again. We're just very lucky we had a very powerful property in the form of Willie Revillame, but a lot of our other mobile promos on TV don't get that much entries or successes. And we think really, how long is this going to be sustained over the next few years, this type of promotion? Let's take a look at some data from some of our friends over at Nielsen. Actually, when you look at the behavior already in the market, when we talk about the Willie Revillame crowd, these are the over 40 housewives. We call them aling tasing. But perhaps they're not the future of media. When we look at, there's been a steady growth in the Philippines of 3-screen users over the last 3 years. These are people who actually watch TV, use their computer, and use their mobile. The incidence in the latest survey has been about at 33%. And it's driven by increased internet usage among ABC households, teens, and 20 to 29 years old. So you can call these guys the future. Most of the 3-screen users are using at least 2 screens simultaneously. Like you guys here are texting and not listening. 2 screens simultaneously. An uptake in the smartphone ownership is seen among the ABC income households from 25 to 29 years old. And about 10 million Filipinos now go online to share or consume media content. They're not just watching media on TV. They're now looking at YouTube, they're checking out Facebook, they're checking out Twitter for the latest that's happening, whether in traditional or non-traditional media. So these guys are actually what we call the future of media. And our challenge as a TV network who is positioned within a telecommunications group is actually how to address these future users of media. What we've learned is that TV is no longer commanding our full attention. Other screens are being used simultaneously, so we have to embrace this behavior by involving the user in storytelling across multiple platforms. We want to make the experience much richer, not by offering content only on one screen, but on multiple platforms. One of the ways we're doing this is actually repurposing content. For example, we have, of course, the PBA airing on Active, and this has been a very successful run for PBA. And what happened now is PBA is actually driving internet usage or traffic to our sports portal, which is interactive.ph. And beyond that, we took it a level further along with our kapatid, Smart, and we actually developed an app. It's now on Android called PBA on Active, and I'll tell you more about it later. So we call that repurposing content. And the third is that, well, actually, maybe not all the content that's on free TV now, which is addressing aling tasing, may be useful to the audience. We're looking at a younger audience, a more upscale audience. We want to also build additional content for them, create additional content for them, perhaps in lifestyle and in music, which of course Filipinos are very much into. So we created additional content. So if you're going to look at our online and mobile properties, we actually have some related directly to TV, which is of course our tv5.com.ph site for our shows, Interaction for our news, interactive for our entertainment, PBA also, which is a mobile app, PBA on Active, also for sports. And we have some new offerings, which is Christine.com, our lifestyle portal, and another one that we're going to launch early next year called Balut Radio. You'll hear more about this later. The line between TV, radio, print, and online are not just blurring, they're actually going to be disappearing in the future. The challenge for us, and perhaps for other networks, is to embrace the change and create content that seamlessly flows from one platform to another. I hope this one plays. Huh? Doesn't play again. Okay. I'll move on and just talk a little bit more about our news portal, which is Interaction. Interaction, well, we're a new network, and we, of course, have started with some new properties. Interaction as a news portal only started in February last year, so it's pretty much a baby in this field. And what's interesting is that we're able to build this site around, you know, kind of the trends in the modern digital world. It's very much shareable on Facebook and Twitter, and it's very easy to view on mobile as well. So as of October 2012, we have reached 1.5 million unique visitors and 12.5 million page views. It's probably not a lot as much as the other news portals, but we're definitely catching up. What's interesting about this number is close to 20% are viewing the site from their mobile phones. We also are one of the few news sites, or maybe the only one, I'm not sure, in the country which actually have Interaction both on the iOS and Android platform. Now, if we want to talk about Interactive, which is the what we would call the leading sports portal in the country, it has about 9.4 million page views in October 2012. And this is really driven by a lot of people wanting to find out more behind what goes on in the games. They want to see, you know, stuff. I'm really not a sports person. Scores, stats, whatever the players are doing, who made the most assists, rebounds, etc. Both for PBA, NCAA, UFL, and other sports properties that don't necessarily have to be airing in TV5. Beyond actually coming up with an online site for our sports, we work together to actually come up with PBA on Active, which is the first second screen app in the Philippines. Second screen might be a bit confusing to you, but what we wanted this app to do is actually be able to be an indispensable companion to your basketball viewing experience. What happens is that when a game is going on, you can actually, the app lights up and you can actually see real-time scores and stats as it happens. So this app has been downloaded more than 40,000 times, considering that we only commercially launched this last October 21. And this is actually a really good case study for us because we worked with Smart on this, and because Smart, of course, is able to directly reach the Android users. Right now it's just on Android. Then we're able to see a really fast take-up with this particular product. And they have such a good development team that it was rated 4.5 out of 5 stars on the Google Play Store. For some of you who don't know, we also have launched a new lifestyle portal called Christine.com. And Christine.com is an interesting story for us because we looked at the lifestyle sites out there and we said, well, there are a lot of missing things. Right now, we felt that the lifestyle sites, or actually sites in general here, are a little bit brochure type, wherein you kind of have like an editorial team behind it. They're talking to users and that's it. Okay, thanks for the information. But what we wanted to do with Christine was actually make it more of a two-way communication, and a crowdsourcing platform. So that's why Christine, while it also has pretty good editorial content in 8 sections, which include travel, technology and gaming, beauty and fashion, men's corner, etc., we actually feature products. We encourage reviews, ratings. We encourage people to share on Facebook and Twitter whatever they think. And this way, we kind of get the pulse of people when it comes to these particular, items we're featuring on Christine. And one interesting thing also is that Christine is our first online property and mobile property that is not directly related to any of our TV shows or programs. This is an independent property. But we said, why not go in the other direction? Make online and mobile work together with TV. So one of the case studies we have here is we have a TV show, a talent search called Artista Academy, which ran a few months ago. And what we did is that we had an episode. No, actually, we said, well, why don't we do a glamorous makeover for all the contestants? Because, they were supposed to be turning from like normal, pretty people into like superstars. So our editor-in-chief and our beauty and fashion editor took a team, and we were able to get them to do a makeover. And actually, what was interesting is that this makeover was featured in one of the episodes of Artista Academy. And if some of you might recall, there was a big billboard on EDSA. So this is actually exactly the outfits they were wearing in that. So it crossed over to other platforms as well. And of course, the result was a feature article in Christine.com about, how the makeovers were done, what were they wearing, what were the beauty products that were featured. And this actually gained a lot of views, shares, and likes, not only from fans of Artista Academy, but from also, of course, readers of Christine.com, people who are visiting our Facebook page, etc. So this kind of demonstrates the push and pull relationship that happens between our properties. We can actually cross over, spill over the content into various platforms, and that's what's interesting about this. And of course, the winner of Artista Academy, her name is Sophie Albert. Let me just show you. I'm sure this video won't play again. So, of course, as a winner and as one of the personifications of someone who would use Christine, we wanted to feature her as being actually a user, and she is.
I have a new best friend who's always in the know. She knows the latest shopping finds and the most popular night spots to flaunt them. She helps me plan movie dates and my next Barkada getaway. She even helps me keep up with my guys' hobbies and gizmos, the latest bands and gigs, and what restos I have to try next. It's great having a best friend who knows everything. Meet Christine, my digital go-to girl. Log on to Christine.com and get everything a girl needs to know. Also available on iOS and Android.
So what's interesting here is that I'm working in a TV network, and sometimes it's very easy to say as a TV person that, well, let's just use online and mobile as a support for our shows. But we are doing it in the reverse. We will have online and mobile properties which uses TV, radio, and print as the support. And that's the way we're kind of telling the story over multiple platforms. Well, let me show you, before I leave here, one of our newest babies in TV5. We said, well, if we're doing lifestyle, if we're doing news, if we're doing sports, we really need to be in music as well, because this is, of course, one of the most musical countries in the world. And we thought, right now, we are very traditional in the way we approach music. Basically, we go to the radio and listen to terrestrial radio. Sometimes we stream, like, let's say, the radio stations, and that's what our kababayans overseas listens to. We pirate music. We don't really buy from the iTunes store, so that's the way kind of music here is done. So we said, we should have a music offering, and I'll show you a little bit, sort of a teaser of our music offering.
Ever wondered what happened to original music? Did you think it just?
Get out of bed, you bum!
Imagine a radio station where you can listen to all OPM hits and beyond. Plus, a radio station you can control. Search, play, pause, skip songs, and create your own channel. Even share songs with your personalized shout-out on Facebook, Twitter, or email. Wherever, whenever. Imagine easy OPM listening without anyone talking. And yes, absolutely, no advertisements over your favorite tune. A radio for every Filipino. Balut Radio.
Doesn't that sound exciting to you?
Hatching soon on your connected device.
Okay, so just to tell you a little bit more about Balut Radio, which is now in internal testing with us. What we plan here is that to come up with an internet pure play streaming radio. What do we mean by pure play? Meaning you can actually select, the song casts that you want to listen to. You can fast forward, you can pause, and then you can take these song casts. If you want to dedicate a song to your sweetheart on Facebook or Twitter, you can do that. And as they mentioned earlier, I was an OFW for 4 years. So I was actually looking for OPM music. I was in a country where they had Spotify, it was actually, I didn't even have to download music that whole time because I would just play Spotify all the time. So that's the way we did music back in Norway. But I was trying to look for OPM music. There were some tracks that were available, I guess uploaded by enterprising people, but not a full library. So what we want to do here, our vision for it is to be the global OPM hub. It will be available in open beta in January and on Android by February and iOS the following month. So again, we don't stop, of course, at online and mobile. What we want to do is have some of the music here on our cable satellite TV network Signal, and also feature performances from various OPM bands, both online and on TV. So that's the way we kind of want to work with all the platforms on our music strategy. So anyway, actually that was my last slide. In closing, I just wanted to talk about, how we envision that these new products that we have will redefine sort of the digital, and I won't even say it's a digital landscape because all these platforms are currently working together right now in some way or another. What we want to do is solidify the way they work together. They're going to be all connected at the hip, and it's up to us to kind of make sure that our story, our content flows across all these platforms in order to give something beneficial, of value to our consumers. So thank you very much for listening this afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheila. If we can have you for a few questions. And good news, the BlackBerry has been happily returned to its owner. So no raffle for a BlackBerry today. Okay, if we have any questions for Miss Sheila from ABC5. There's a lot to take in as well. You guys are
busy.
Yeah, busy. Competition yan. High five, sister. It's okay. We're all in the same industry anyway. Okay, so if we can have some questions from the floor, please. Come on, you're not just gonna make us talk here. It's a growing network, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions for them. No? Not at all? Okay, well, I guess I'll have to start. Oh, you have a question? Okay.
Actually, because,
yes. The question was, why don't you have a mobile site? and only apps.
Well, thank you for saying that, but yes, we do need mobile sites for all our sites. That's in the plan, but as I said, we are a kind of a young company. The first site, which was Interaction, was put together in and then Christine also another quick run. Apps, well, that's also because we want to leverage on the distribution of our sister companies. The apps are going to be distributed over Smart, over PLDT, Telpad, etc. But of course, Globe can also download it. But yes, mobile site is definitely next on our list.
Okay. It's all about competition, ano? Globe, Smart, 5, 2. 2. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, next question. Come on, guys. All right. Well, maybe for me, it's a multi-platform thing now, right? Obviously, we start out with TV, and then it's about mobile. It's about being online. Do you feel that TV is an endangered species?
No, I don't think TV is an endangered species, but perhaps the way we really look at TV today, the way it's going to be in the future is that, you already see a lot of people coming up with their own content.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that they're backed by this big network with a lot of funding. As long as people find it entertaining and engaging, they can be a producer of content as well. So the way for us to kind of work on TV is to make sure that we have the best content and the best distribution available. So I think TV will not necessarily die out, but it will be produced in a different way.
But do you find that people are watching TV less? We're all in the same.
I personally watch TV less, so
because obviously we're all mobile now, right?
Yes.
So even if you don't get to watch your favorite basketball game, or let's say the Ascals and the Suzuki Cup,
Exactly.
you always have updates on Twitter,
Yes.
on Facebook. So the thing is, I love TV. I still watch it a lot, but I just feel like it's slowly sort of slipping away. Although, of course, all of these are meant to stimulate other people to go back to TV eventually, because obviously if you want to watch the full game, it's still different to watch it on like a 42-inch or, TV is still something, but I just feel like it's slipping away little by little.
For this particular crowd, for example, where we're all really busy and we don't get to sit in front of the TV all the time, the way we kind of view it is that people still want to see the experience. Maybe it's not the same as, for example, like watching a live sports game at the same time that it's happening. But if you have the whole game on another platform that you can go back to, if you can watch it on your mobile or online, there's still ways to deliver this, to the consumer in other means. So I think perhaps it's also a delivery that's going to be changing. It doesn't have to be always on the traditional TV screen that we know.
Okay, do we have any other questions for Ms. Sheila? Who still watches TV like the way you watched it 2-3 years ago? High five. Because I still watch TV, but a lot of us are really just, we're all mobile and everything's just so available at the click of a finger. So do we have any questions? Because TV5 is growing and fast. You guys have so many things happening.
Yeah, too many.
I need to report back. But so many things, just so many things happening. In terms of news though, let's say, you know how now there's a discrepancy because everything happens online, and let's say a netizen tweets that something's happening. When do you feel that it is actually news already? Do you feel that you have to wait until you see it by a newscaster, let's say, or by a reporter? Or are you okay to just hear it on tweet and say, okay, this is gospel? How do you guys do it in TV5?
Well, actually, it's I think I also listen to some news people talk about it. Like, for example, if they're on Twitter, what is considered to be their personal opinion and what is considered to be news. So that's a little blurry line,
It's
actually.
tricky, right?
It's
really
a very
tricky.
tricky line, and it will really depend on the credentials of the person who's talking about it, whether it's considered news or not. I guess what we see here also is a little bit of a gap, because perhaps the people, as I said, watching free TV will not know that someone tweeted an hour ago that this happened, because they're not on that platform. And so they see it on TV. And I've seen a lot of news coverage already quoting Twitter or Facebook or something like that. So you see a crossover there, and then you will also see a crossover the other way. So I think both are considered to be news still, But it's just a matter of building credentials about who is delivering that piece of news, and that's when you'll say, yeah, it's news.
Finally, a question. Thank you for joining us. Okay. What's
Hi,
your name, please?
My
and
name
where are you
is
from?
Ariel Pineda from Snapworks Digital. And my question is just, how do you think that this multi-screen revolution is going to change the business strategy, or I mean, the business model for TV? It was mentioned before, I think, in the IMAP talk, that you're looking at a different way of monetizing your online and TV, instead of just selling ads on TV. How do you think will that be changing in the future years?
For the people who have been buying media here and have been getting online for free for buying TV, your days are numbered. Because I think, well, definitely online and mobile is really going to be a property worth paying for because of the eyeballs it gets. You can actually track whether people have seen the ad, whether they've clicked through, whether they've engaged with an ad. So perhaps maybe reach and frequency might not be as, as useful in the future as actually tracking down to the last action of a user, whether they've actually seen the ad and acted on it. So in terms of changing the business model, well, one of the things is that we don't want to give online and mobile for free anymore to advertisers. Sorry. And secondly, of course, it's going to be bundled in the future in some way. We haven't worked out the business model for that. But definitely, it's about extending the experience of the user. For people who are working in advertising, if you remember, the reason why we have so much frequency on commercials is that it takes like 10 times maybe for a user to see a commercial before they suddenly have the intent, desire, and blah, blah, blah to act. So if we are going to look at the way that consumers consume media right now, it's not going to be like I saw the commercial 10 times. It's going to be I saw the commercial maybe a couple of times on TV, then I saw it on mobile, I saw it online, then maybe I saw it in the bus stop, whatever. So it's going to be, it's the way that advertising revenue will kind of flow among those properties is going to be different and bundled in some way.
So package deal na siya. Okay? Any more questions? If not, we can let Ms. Sheila rest. Yes? Again, a round of applause for Ms. Sheila Paul.
Thank you very much.
ABC5.
Thank you, Lexi.